Hey everybody, welcome back to the center lane, a political discussion for those of us in the middle who just want some consensus and everybody to get along. Well, here it is, the day after the election, and we know who the 47th president will be now, Donald Trump. He won. Congratulations to him. That was quite an amazing comeback from 2 years ago. He literally rose from the dead. We already know what kind of president. I know he talks a lot of stuff that's, a lot of people held their nose and voted for him. Full disclosure, I didn't vote for him. But I'm not a hater. He's our president now, and guess what? I'm old school. I support whoever the president is, because I want them to do well, because if they do well, hey, maybe I'll do well too, and all my friends and family and all of you. So that's a good thing, right? But how is he going to govern? How is this going to happen? How did it happen that he won in the first place? I think, I have some thoughts about what the Democrats need to do, and I want to kind of hold my powder on that one for just a minute. But Trump has this unique ability to, even when he's saying nonsense and not making a lot of sense, he has a way of connecting with people as a regular person. And there's a lot of power in that, and I think a lot of politicians would like to mimic that or try to emulate him. But he really is truly one of a kind. So he's going to be our president now. Hopefully some of the crazy stuff he's been saying is just stuff he said to get elected. I like to think, anyways, that he's a lot more moderate than he puts on to be. Because one thing about Donald Trump is he wants to be loved. And if he comes out wanting to be feared and half the country doesn't love him, it bothers him. So I think that's something that's in our best interest for him to continue to have that kind of feeling. Also, I think some of the culture issues and stuff, I don't think he was last time he was president, he wasn't going after, all these cultural issues that are kind of like making the headlines now, and they're also gathering votes. I think you're going to see him kind of step back from some of that talk. He's going to be tough on the border, and some of those things he promised, I think he's going to go after. The Ukraine war being over before he becomes inaugurated, he promised it. Let's see if he can do it. That'd be great, but I don't see that happening, do you? But anyways, he makes a lot of grandiose statements, but I think that hopefully he will want to, listen to all sides of the aisle, and I think he's capable of that. I really do. So I'm hopeful that he's going to maybe even be some lesson learned from 2016, 2020, his last gig, that maybe he will be able to, moderate or himself. And it's only a 4-year term. He can't run again. He doesn't worry about being reelected. So there's a really good chance to build a legacy here, Trump, if you're listening. I'm sure you're not. But if you were, this is your chance, buddy. This is your chance to, everybody gets a second chance. This is your second chance to meet us in the middle. There's a lot of people out there that will listen to you and maybe even change their opinion if you come to that center lane. Oops, see what I did there? All right, so that's Trump. So he's our president, and congratulations again. Kamala Harris, what happened? Well, first things, she was dealt kind of a rough hand, and I'm going to say it one more time. Joe Biden, you were a decent president and everything, but why in God's green earth did you run again? You could have said after the 22 midterm elections that, you know what, I was told I'm going to be a transitory type candidate. I'm going to go 4 years and I'm going to pass the baton. And if he would have done that, and the Democrats had a legitimate primary, which maybe Kamala Harris would have won, who knows? Then maybe, the results would be different today. Maybe not. It might just be that people want to change. Democrats are in trouble from the get-go because the perception that that the economy is a complete wreck, which I don't believe it is, but there are some sticking points that people have legitimate gripes about. Affordability, rent is super high, mortgages are high, mortgage rates, and the dream of getting a house is feels out of reach for some people. So that's a big one. It's a big enchilada out there. So there were some economic issues, and of course the immigration thing. Trump did a really good job of painting a picture of immigrants pouring over the border, and there was some of that, but people keep forgetting that 62% of the illegal immigrants in this country aren't coming over the border. They're overstaying their travel visas, their work visas. They disappear. They don't leave when they come here. 62%. So nobody talks about that, and they're from all over the world too. Literally, not just the Venezuela and this and that. Of course, the border, everybody wants that secured. So hopefully Trump can do a better job than Biden did in that. But it's going to take Congress really to make it happen. Trump killing that bipartisan bill, that was not a nice thing to do, but it got him elected. He did that. It was kind of dirty pool. I think he should let that pass, and we can get some stability down there. But he didn't do that, and this is where we are. So back to the Democrats. What are they going to do? Kamala, she didn't even get to come on until what? When did he drop out? July, so 3 months. She's the vice president. If you want change from Joe Biden and you take the vice president, I know that vice presidents don't really do anything. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm sure they do something. They don't do a whole lot, though. They don't get a lot of headlines. So, but if you're going to run as the VP, the current VP, and talk about change, and then you're not willing to, I hate to say go after Joe Biden a little bit, but you almost have to if you're going to separate yourself from him. And kudos to her. She feels she's a very loyal person, I think, towards him, and she really likes him, respects him. So I get that. That's a really tough message to get out there when you're talking, crap about the guy that, put you where you were today. Another thing I think that she really screwed up on is, you should have been taking every interview, every sit down, every media event, going on Fox News, going on Joe Rogan, go everywhere. The day you decided that you were the candidate, you should have put yourself out there, and you didn't. You waited too long. Started doing a little bit towards the end. Too guarded, I thinking if I do this, if I stay the course with what we're doing here, and which was very kind of scripted, it was scripted, then I can get in that way. And it was whoever gave her that advice, that was bad advice. You got to do like Pete Buttigieg does, and what's his name, Vance does too. They go on all the networks. They always do, and they get cut up, but they give it back, and that's what you got. People respect that. Whether they're going to vote for you or not doesn't even, that matters. But people do respect you when you do that. And I think that was a big mistake, not doing any of that and not really introducing themselves to who you are. Back to Biden, if he would have dropped out in 2022 and we had a primary, would Kamala even have won the nomination? I don't know, she might have, but if she did, it would have been a lot better because she would have been in primaries and debates and you'd really get a sense of who she was. I mean, she worked hard. I think considering where she was at, she probably did about as good as anybody could have done under the circumstance. If he wouldn't have ran and they had a year to Democrats to decipher who their candidate was, they would have put a stronger candidate out there. So the Democrats got a lot of soul searching to do. I mean, they lost the Senate. I hope they don't. They might lose the House too. So there's a lot of things. And this is just personal, but for me too, for the Democrats, there's we're college educated, blah, blah, blah. That turns a lot of people off. And I think, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think some of these celebrity endorsements and you're out there campaigning with them and partying with them, a lot of people can't relate to that. Oh, just out there with Bruce Springsteen. And I mean, I don't know if that was he one of them, but what's her name? Cardi B and people like that. Here we are, we're looking for votes and they think that that's going to help them. And to a certain degree, maybe it does. But like what Trump did, I mean, nobody was really endorsing him, that you really heard of other than Robert Kennedy F. Jr., which I hope to God, they pushed him a little bit aside. But things like that. He had some people, but not a whole lot. But he didn't, more grassroots, go into those rural areas, just go and tell people who you are and what you can do for them. I think if I was going to be an advisor to a campaign for Democrats in particular, celebrity endorsements are great. Let them go out and campaign for you. But don't be seen with them out at these parties and having a good time, because I think it turns a lot of people off. I really do. But maybe it's just because I'm older and it's a generational thing. And I could be wrong. But I think that's part of what's Trump's magic is. He really can connect, and he goes and he talks way too long. Those rallies are kind of a joke. And at the point, they talk in 2-3 hours. He is, but he's connecting with ordinary people, and that's kind of his secret to success. One thing going back to Trump, I hope going forward, if he's going to be everybody's president, is get some of these goofy people away from you, the Laura Loomers and the Marjorie Taylor Greens and the Mike Lindells. Keep those people at arm's length, man. You know what? Just keep them at arm's length. You get some good people around you. There's good people out there that'll work for you. You just got to find them, and then you got to let them do their thing too. So that's my advice to him if he wants to go to the center lane. As a central moderate person, I don't like seeing Laura Loomer at 9/11. That's kind of where I started really going, I'm not going to do these podcasts where that just blew my mind. Why are you taking Laura Loomer to a 9/11 commemorative event, 2 of them, on your plane? What do you? She's a denier of 9/11 or an inside job from the FBI, whatever you want to call that. No, stay away from those people, man. That does not give me a lot of faith in you, you know. So that's my advice to him if he wants to take it. Last but not least, one good thing too, let's finish on a positive. And this gets me excited. 28's looking exciting now, because now we will have both sides, Republican, Democrats will have full primaries, people, you know, competing for the nomination, a chance for us to hopefully get the best candidates from both sides. There's some good people on both sides there. I'd love to see run, you know, in 28. So I'm looking forward to, you know, seeing, I mean, you know, on the Republican side, some people I like Chris Sununu. I like Nikki Haley, even though she's a waffler. Vance, we'll see how he does. He actually, you know, I warmed up to him a little bit. Him and Walz in their debate was great, because they both were respectful, and that gave me some hope that people can talk about things and disagree and still be respectful, because that's big to me. On the Democratic side, I mean, I love Cory Booker. You got Westmore. You got Pete, Mayor Pete. Oh geez, there's a litany of pretty good people out there, or good people out there, not pretty good people, that will be running, maybe, and who knows, the next 4 years who will appear. But let's go out there and get a healthy discussion, a healthy debate, and get two candidates, because a lot of people, my friends too, who voted for Trump, same thing, it's like, I can only choose between him and her, you know? And I took her, but man, I wasn't dancing out of the, you know, when I voted, I wasn't, oh, well, you know, I'm sorry, I wasn't, you know, I'd rather seen Cory Booker on there, you know, if I'm gonna be honest. If I had my dream candidate for who I think is the right person for the job right now, it would have been him. So, but he didn't even get a chance. So, anywho, 28's looking exciting. So we'll see how that pans out, and I'm really excited about that. And next 4 years and going forward, hey everybody, if you're sad that Trump won, then you know the sun's gonna shine tomorrow. And if you're happy, then congratulations, your guy won. All right, you have a great day, and we will talk to you soon.